had no girl. So why y'all talking about me? Find something else to talk about. Talk about my girl. Go talk about your girl. Go find a girl. Go find a life.
Touch too.
A eater.
That's the big cut. Yeah, my boy been there to work. No way.
Travis Hunter woke up thinking it was going to be another normal day in his rising superstar life, but instead he found himself dragged into one of the wildest scandals college football has seen all year. Out of nowhere, the internet blew up with claims that Travis had just been blindsided by his own wife getting a little too close to an NFL player from the Jacksonville Jaguars. And the story didn't spread slowly, it erupted. One minute everything looked picture perfect, and the next minute social media was treating Travis' life like a full-blown drama series with a new plot twist dropping every hour. People weren't whispering about it, they were yelling, posting, tagging, and breaking down every detail like they were paid detectives. Nobody expected this kind of storm to hit a player like Travis Hunter, especially at this point in his career. He's been the golden kid, the two-way phenomenon, Coach Prime's pride, the future top draft pick. Everything about him screamed discipline, dedication, and don't let distractions mess up the bag.
Wasn't my type.
I wasn't her type.
I left him in my DMs for like 2 months. He was friend zoned because I didn't like. He was like, "In my friend zone?" I was like, "Yes."
But now the streets are buzzing like he just got hit with the kind of personal betrayal that can shake even the strongest athlete. And the craziest part, he didn't see any of it coming. According to the online reports, Travis found out after stumbling on messages and pictures that made his blood run cold. Folks claim these weren't just harmless DMs. They had late-night timestamps, heart emojis, and the type of inside jokes you only send when things have crossed the line. The kind of stuff that hits you in the chest before you even finish scrolling. And who was the man on the other side of those messages? That's the part that made this entire situation explode. People are claiming the dude is connected to the Jacksonville Jaguars. Not a blogger, not a TikToker, not a random fan, but a real NFL player who should have had no business being that close to a married woman. The internet instantly started throwing out theories, trying to match clues, schedules, event photos, and even sideline footage. Every fan base got involved. Jaguars fans, Colorado fans, football fans, drama-loving fans. Everybody was trying to figure out which player Travis' wife might have been entertaining behind his back. Once those event videos hit the timeline, things got even messier. Social media detectives started zooming in, screenshotting, and replaying clips of Travis's wife at an appearance where several Jacksonville players were present. Folks swear they picked up on body language, leaning in too close, laughing a little too hard, touching an arm a little too long. TikTok relationship experts were posting breakdowns like they were studying a crime scene. People online even started tracking who was standing next to who whispered something, and who looked way too comfortable. Some users were so dramatic they were drawing red circles on screenshots like they were solving a government case. Meanwhile, Travis was out here trying to keep the peace on the surface, but reportedly behind the scenes, things were not calm. Word on the street is that when he confronted the situation, emotions ran hot, hotter than anybody expected. There were whispers that things almost got physical, or maybe even did get physical, depending on who you listen to.
You ain't never had no girl. So why y'all talking about me? Find something else to talk about. Talk about my girl. Go talk about your girl. Go find a girl. Go find a life. Stop worrying about what I got going on. I know what I got. I know my girl. My girl been with me for 5 years. Y'all are just not starting to talk about me and just not starting to be with me. Like, come on, man. Y'all go do something else with y'all life. Clickbait pages, y'all better stop. I'm telling y'all. Y'all, if something bad gonna happen to y'all, y'all keep doing that. Y'all better stop that. I ain't playing. Y'all me and then y'all go and hate on my girl. Like, bro, I feel the same pain that she feel. We're inseparable, bro. We with each other. Like, she hurting, of course I'm gonna be hurting. If I'm hurting, of course she gonna be hurting.
One source swears voices were raised. Another says Travis walked out furious. Another claims someone tried to de-escalate before things turned into a real problem. Nothing has been confirmed, but every detail only adds more chaos to the firestorm. Then came the cryptic tweets, the deleted Instagram posts, the sudden social media silence that fans always take as a giant flashing sign that something big happened. Travis didn't say anything directly, but he didn't have to. Deleting posts is basically a language of its own on social media. Fans instantly started panicking, speculating, arguing. Some were sending prayers. Others were saying he should walk away immediately. A few were telling folks to stop jumping to conclusions, but the loudest voices, they were convinced the rumors were real and they refused to let the story die. What made all of this even heavier is the timing. Travis is supposed to be locked in, preparing for the next chapter of his career, staying focused on his future, not fighting off heartbreak rumors before a major transition into the pros. And yet here he is, caught in the middle of one of the biggest scandals of the week, with millions of people dissecting his personal life like they're watching a season finale. It didn't help that the Jaguars organization stayed completely silent. No denial, no comment, nothing. And silence always makes people assume the worst.
The story started, love story.
Bro, it's crazy. It's kind of funny because now her brother is like my best friend.
Yeah, I see y'all rocking
But
a lot
like,
together.
He's here at the house, but he's at work right now. But like, he seen her phone one day. He went to her phone one day, and I texted her on Instagram, and he seen that text. He's like, "You don't know who this is?" So he was like, "You don't know who this is, bro?"
He's a real
He was
wing man.
She was, hey, he was a good wing man.
Wade,
She was like,
you
"Boy,
LeBron."
I don't care." She was like, "Boy, I don't care who that is." But she seen my text message a long time ago. She just never.
Yeah, she's
texted me
ignoring
back.
you.
She left you on red, gang?
Ignore you.
Wow.
And that's when I was nothing. So she's
Yeah,
like, I don't care about that. And like, she still don't even know why she talked to me.
Seemed like she keeps you.
Insiders whispered that the team wasn't happy about the attention, that they were trying to keep things internal, and that a few people behind the scenes were frustrated that a private situation turned national. And you know how the internet works. The second you don't talk, the internet creates its own story. People started mentioning old photos, vague tweets, random comments, anything they could piece together. Even people who never watched a Colorado game in their life suddenly had opinions about Travis Hunter's marriage. It was like the whole world turned into part-time investigators overnight, each one trying to solve a case they weren't even a part of. But the real pressure wasn't the memes, the tweets, or the gossip pages. It was the emotional weight Travis had to carry. Betrayal is already hard to deal with privately, but when millions of strangers feel entitled to watch your heartbreak unfold in real time, that hits different. And Travis is still young, still building himself, still learning how to navigate fame. This kind of drama hits harder when you're still figuring out life, not just football. By the time the day ended, what started as a small rumor had turned into a full national story. Every detail was blowing up. Every second someone was posting something new. And the situation, it was nowhere near done unraveling. The moment that scandal hit the internet, the whole sports world shifted its attention straight on to Travis Hunter like he was the main character in a real-life thriller. And the pressure only got heavier when people started digging deeper into the timeline, trying to figure out how long this situation had been brewing behind his back. Folks online began pulling up old clips, old photos, old subtle moments that suddenly looked suspicious now that the truth might be cracking open. It was like everyone was hunting for clues to connect the dots, and every new detail made the story look even messier than before.
He just ain't said I do yet, but he did.
I've been saying that.
I think he done got married on us and ain't told nobody.
Nah, not yet.
Not yet. I
Let me
like
know.
it.
Cause I'm gonna do your prenup for you. It's gonna be about this thick. And this is gonna be the cover of it. The little engine and cooler.
No, for real.
Some fans swear they noticed a change in Travis' vibe weeks earlier, saying he wasn't posting his wife as much, wasn't liking her pictures the same way, wasn't showing the same energy that couples usually show online. Of course, nobody thought much of it at the time, but once the scandal broke, suddenly everyone claimed they knew something was off. That's how these situations always go. The second drama hits, people turn into historians and start rewriting the past. And while all that noise was going on, the streets were buzzing about one thing. How did a whole NFL player even get close enough to Travis's wife to spark this kind of situation? Because let's be real, NFL players and college players don't typically run in the same tight circles unless someone is intentionally crossing into that space. This wasn't a random celebrity sighting or a chance encounter. They were reportedly seen at the same private event, same table area, same conversations, same social group, like they'd already been comfortable around each other before the messages went viral. That's the part that had everybody side-eyeing the situation, wondering how deep this connection actually went and whether this was really a one-time thing or something that had been cooking quietly until it boiled over. People online didn't make it better. They were out here analyzing every hairstyle, every smile, every glance between Travis's wife and any Jaguars player who appeared in photos near her. Fans were zooming in like they were studying evidence for a trial. One person swore they saw a player's hand on her waist. Another claimed she whispered something to somebody while touching his shoulder. And whether those details were accurate or exaggerated, the internet treated each one like a major discovery. It got to the point where anybody in the background of those photos instantly became a suspect. Even dudes who had nothing to do with the story were getting dragged into the rumor mill just because they happened to be in the wrong frame at the wrong time. While the internet played detective, Travis reportedly tried to handle things in private, but private doesn't exist once the whole world is watching your pain unfold. Rumors started flying that he confronted the situation head on, and that conversation didn't go smoothly. Depending on who you believe, Travis was heartbroken, confused, and trying to figure out if this was a misunderstanding or something deeper. Other sources claim he was furious, pacing around, refusing to believe what he saw, and demanding real answers. But one thing everyone agreed on, he felt blindsided, like he got hit with a truth he wasn't prepared for, the kind that flips your whole reality upside down. And while Travis was dealing with heartbreak, the Jaguars player at the center of these rumors suddenly became the internet's favorite target. People started comparing his timeline, his travel schedule, his social media activity, trying to figure out if he and Travis' wife had been in the same cities at the same time. One fan even pulled up an old charity event guest list and claimed this wasn't the first time they'd been spotted in the same room. That alone sent the story into a whole new level of chaos. The streets began whispering that the situation might have been going on longer than anyone expected, and that's when things really took off. The Jaguars organization staying silent didn't help one bit. Usually when a rumor threatens someone's reputation, teams jump on it fast. False story, not involved, private matter, or something to calm things down. But this time, nothing. No statement, no denial, no attempt to shut the story down. That silence made fans believe there was more truth behind the scenes than anyone wanted to admit. Insiders even claimed the front office was irritated because the scandal was now dragging their team into unnecessary drama during a critical time of their season. Meanwhile, Travis' social media activity was getting studied like homework. The deleted posts, the unfollows people swore they saw, the cryptic tweets. Fans kept saying he wouldn't be acting like that unless something real happened. And the fact that he didn't go online to defend his marriage or shut the story down, that spoke louder than any statement he could have posted. Some were telling him to focus on football and let go of the situation for his own peace. Others were saying he should fight for his marriage. A few were even blaming him, saying success changes people around you. But the loudest crowd, they were telling him to move on immediately and not let this situation break him, because heartbreak doesn't stop the dream, even when it feels like your whole world is falling apart. The craziest part of all of this was watching how quickly public perception shifted. Travis went from being celebrated as the biggest college talent in the game to being the face of a scandal he didn't even start. People weren't talking about his talent, his dominance, his future in the NFL. They were talking about his personal life, analyzing his facial expressions in photos, trying to read between the lines like they personally knew him. That's the downside of fame. The world feels entitled to your pain, and strangers feel like they have the right to interpret your heartbreak. But through all the noise, all the tweets, all the messy theories, one thing remained clear. Travis Hunter was dealing with one of the toughest moments of his life, right when the world expected him to be at his strongest. And this storm, it wasn't slowing down anytime soon. By the time the scandal reached its peak, Travis Hunter couldn't go online without seeing his name dragged into every headline, meme, and reaction post. It didn't matter if he tried to stay quiet. The internet wasn't letting this story go. His mentions were a war zone, with fans, trolls, and strangers all arguing about what really happened, who was responsible, and how deep the situation actually went. Every new detail made the drama stretch further, and every hour brought a new wave of emotions from people watching a private heartbreak unfold in real time. The whole thing had spiraled so far that even folks who didn't know a thing about football were suddenly experts on Travis's marriage and the Jaguars roster, like they had front row seats to the situation. What made things even heavier was how the energy around Travis began to change. His teammates reportedly rallied around him, trying to keep him grounded and focused, but even they couldn't block out the noise completely. People close to the program kept saying he was hurt but trying to stay composed, keeping his head down during practices and workouts while avoiding unnecessary conversations. Some insiders mentioned he seemed quieter than usual, not really smiling as much, just moving through the motions with that kind of look you get when you're trying to hold everything together. And for someone as competitive, driven, and passionate as Travis, going through emotional chaos during one of the biggest years of his career had to feel like a punch straight to the chest. Meanwhile, the rumor mill surrounding the Jaguars player got even uglier. Fans were playing guessing games like it was a contest, throwing out names, making TikTok theories, and creating Twitter threads with screenshots, body language breakdowns, and alleged encounters at events. Some people swore they knew exactly who the player was, while others said the wrong names were being dragged into the story. It became a whole circus, and with no confirmation and no official statements, everyone used whatever evidence they could find, real or not. That made the situation even more embarrassing for Travis. His private life was now entertainment for millions of people who didn't care about accuracy, only shock value. The worst part? As the story got bigger, so did the pressure on Travis's wife. She suddenly found herself under a level of scrutiny that could break anybody. Entire comment sections were filled with accusations, insults, assumptions, and every kind of messy take you can imagine. People questioned her loyalty, her intentions, her character, everything. And whether the claims were true or not, the internet didn't care. Once people decide a narrative, they run with it full speed. Some defended her, saying folks shouldn't believe rumors without proof. But many others were locked in on the idea that she crossed a line and embarrassed her husband on a global stage. And when public opinion turns that fast, it becomes almost impossible to stop. Travis, on the other hand, was trying to navigate the chaos while protecting his career. He's a future top NFL talent, a brand, a public figure, the kind of player teams build around. But scandals like this can shift focus away from what really matters. That's why some insiders claimed he wanted everything handled quietly, even if the internet was screaming. The last thing he needed was for teams, scouts, or brands to see him as distracted or emotionally unstable, because that stuff matters in the professional world. Every player learns quickly that your off-field life can affect your future just as much as your performance on the field. Still, even with all the noise, one thing became clear. Travis wasn't letting this break him. People started noticing he showed up to practice, stayed late in the facility, and locked in on his goals. They said he was channeling the pain into focus, doing whatever he could to keep his mind steady. And honestly, that's something a lot of people respected, because heartbreak is one thing, but heartbreak in front of millions of people, that's a different type of pressure. And handling it without lashing out, without exposing the whole situation online, without losing control, that takes strength. But make no mistake, the confusion, the hurt, and the betrayal still hung over him like a heavy cloud. Fans wondered if he'd eventually speak out, maybe drop a statement, maybe clear the air, maybe address the situation directly. Others thought he'd stay silent forever, choosing to let time bury the story instead of giving it more attention. And until Travis decides to talk, the internet will keep building its own theories, adding twists, adding assumptions, and keeping the situation alive whether he likes it or not. That's the power and the curse of fame. As for the Jaguars side of things, the silence from the organization became almost symbolic. It made the story feel unfinished, like there were still pieces missing, almost like there was more happening behind closed doors than anyone wanted to reveal publicly. And with every day that passed without clarity, fans became more convinced that something serious had gone down, something messy enough that people preferred to keep it quiet instead of risking more headlines. The truth is, we may never know the full story. Not every scandal ends with a public confession, a sit-down interview, or a social media breakup announcement. Sometimes the people involved keep the details behind locked doors, choosing healing over headlines, and given everything Travis is trying to build, that might be his path. But one thing's for sure. This situation shook up the entire college football scene, created one of the biggest online debates of the year, and forced a young star to face a private storm under the brightest spotlight possible. No matter what happens next, Travis Hunter is stepping into the next chapter of his life with scars he didn't ask for, but the way he handles them might be exactly what defines him going forward. Not the scandal, not the rumors, not the noise, but the strength he shows after being blindsided when he least expected it.